All right, Libras. Y'all are going to be first on this. God damn it. I made up my mind and I'm like, Libras are going first because I need to know what the fuck I need to work on moving into 2020. So if you saw the spirit messages, I wanted to do something that would kind of touch on what do we need to do or what do we need to release moving into 2020 that could be slowing us down, keeping us stagnant, holding us back. So I decided to use Tough Shit Tarot because it's very direct, very upfront, straight to the point. And I figured a little 10-minute reading to kind of say, this is what you need to kind of focus on. So that way you're not all over the place. Sometimes people see the problem, but they don't want to work on the problem. Sometimes people literally don't see the problem. So we're going to get into it and see what's going on for Libras. What could possibly be holding us back and moving forward in 2020? Libra. And hopefully Spirit will give us some guidance through these messages that you'll figure out what do you need to do to release it. Me, procrastination. I'm getting a little bit better, but it's been a struggle the last few years. And Spirit is like, you got to get better. You got to get better. And it's like, I know it. But it is something that I am familiar with. And it's something that I know that I struggle with. And I've actively been working on it. But let's see what comes up in these cards. And tough shit. Libra. What do we need to work on to move us forward? All right, let's see. Tough shit. You are currently playing out the energy of outdated childhood beliefs. This card is a reminder to embrace and heal your inner child in order to become clear in the present moment. Okay. Your constant quest for perfectionism is the source of physical illness in your body. Try opening your mind to something you never believed you could accept, and you will experience a positive body change. Your planned course of action at this time is reckless, dangerous, and unnecessary. You are only behaving this way for external validation from your peers. The glory you perceive will be short-lived and unfulfilling. Consider another choice that reflects your true desire. Your current friendships are no longer serving you. Your feelings of being out of place are real, and it's time to seek friendships where your needs are met and you can be yourself. This card is a call to action. You have mulled over a choice for a long time now, and the only way to move forward is to take action. There is no right or wrong direction, but a lack of decisive action will keep you stuck in your thoughts of cycle. Libra's overthinking. Despite your best efforts to pretend otherwise, your emotions are bubbling to the surface and you are begging to be heard. If you can identify the emotions and express them in a healthy way, you may just make it out of the situation alive. Try seeing a therapist, writing, or meditating. Be careful not to burn any bridges by inappropriately taking your feelings out on loved ones at this time. All right, Libra. So if we look at these cards and if you listen to the messages clearly, a lot of us are being inauthentic, which means that we are living a life for other people, which could be at the detriment of our growth. Now, for some of us, this goes back to childhood. Somebody may have told you can't act this way, or this is not the proper way to act, or this is what you need to fit in, or to keep the status quo. So that could have been a means of controlling you as a child. The problem is with some is that we haven't outgrown that energy. We still are kind of limited. We're operating in a space where it's like, oh, I wonder what people are going to say. I wonder if people are going to talk about me if I do something outside the box. So for some of us, we have to reprogram because we are allowing an outdated program to still control us, which means that for a few that we need to get real. Is this working for me? Is this something that I need to be paying attention to? Is it helping me grow? I feel for some of us, and I know I'm 52, so there's still certain things when I go to my mom's house that make me revert to a 5-year-old because that was what I was taught. Now, as an adult, I should be able to get past those things. And I don't think it's because she expects it from me. It is a place that I tend to revert back to. And I noticed that with some of my friends that are also Libras, that you'll have a certain parent or parental guide that will say certain things that tend to keep us in a limited space where we're easily controlled. And it may not be their faults. For some of us, you could be dealing with manipulative parents or guardians or guides that you work with. But spirit is saying that you're released from that process no longer serves you. So if you're not moving forward and taking chances and doing things that you want to do, it's not because of other people. You may have to go ahead and reconnect with that inner child and heal it. Now, I've done that in therapy. It's a very painful thing because you have to go back and look at things that were very traumatic that you didn't want to deal with as an adult, and that's why you never went back and changed it. But for some of you, this could be a reason of you being stagnant. And if there's major growth that's coming in for us in 2020, and there is, we got to let it go, or else we're going to be conflicted. Oh, I want to do this, but what are they going to think? Well, I want to do this, but would my mom turn over in her grave? Well, I want to do this, but will other people judge me? And that could be a big issue. Now, the second thing is showing professionalism, status, wanting to be seen in a certain way. I want my makeup to look right. I want my hair to look right. I want my clothes to look right. And that tends to be Libras. We worry too much about what other people think. We're not the only people that do that, but for a lot of us, there is this thing of people pleasing. I want everybody to like me. I want everybody to get me, to want to be around me. Now, for some of us, we've come to realize in our older age that that is not possible. It's not a reality. I don't care how good you are, how well you dress, what you do. There are going to be a ton of people that will not like you. They will not gravitate towards you because of character or their flaws. So for a lot of us, we have to kind of let go of this issue of wanting to people please, because it is becoming a problem where we're not being authentic, and we're doing things to make other people happy, but we're not happy. For some of you, if you don't let this go, you're going to go into 2020 still doing this, still, dressing to make people happy, still, working at certain jobs to make people happy, or not keeping boundaries, not telling people, no, I can't help you. No, I don't want to do this. And it's because we want to people please. If you're struggling with this, this is going to be something that you need to focus on. Now, moving to card number 3, your plan, of course, action at the time is reckless and dangerous, unnecessary. You're behaving in this certain way for validation from your peers. Some of you could be putting yourself out of your comfort zone or out of your character because you want people to say good job. You want people to pay attention to you. There could be gossip involved with this because I get gossip. I want to tell you this, or I want to talk about this, or I want to talk about things that I shouldn't be sharing with you because I want to be a part of the clique or the group. You got to be really careful that you're not selling your soul to fit in with people who otherwise wouldn't give a shit about you. Now, if this is family and you feel like you're venting, or you're seeking advice, or you're being vulnerable, then that's one thing. But if you're taking yourself out of your character for validation from other people to fit in, you could be in a situation where it may get turned around on you. I keep hearing scapegoat, where you may be the person that ends up, people are putting things back on you. Well, she said this or he said that. And all of a sudden, the status and the validation that you wanted gets kind of mixed or confused, because now all of a sudden you're a gossip, or you're messy, or you're a troublemaker. Make sure that you're not allowing people moving into the new year to use you for their own agenda. We're smarter than that, Libra. So make sure that you understand why people are questioning you, why they want you to share certain things. For some people, this literally could be them trying to either get information out of you, or they want to use you to make themselves look better. So they're inviting you into the clique, but they're inviting you into a clique with the idea of manipulation. Now, for some of us, this could be us doing this to other people, because we can be master manipulators. We can make people think that, I'm doing this out of my free will, when no, the Libra has manipulated and maneuvered and moved things around so that they get the outcome that they want. For some of you, you could be putting yourself in a messy situation where things may blow up. So make sure that if you're going into something, that you're speaking your truth. And that way, when the shit does blow up, you stand in your truth. Now, your current friendships are no longer serving you. Your feelings of being out of place are real. This is letting us know there's certain people that are not going to be moving into 2020 with us. There's no space. We're either outgrowing them or they've outgrown us. There was a fork in the road. They went left, we went right. But for some of us, we're holding on to unnecessary friendships, and it could be out of codependency. For some of us, it could be that there's some type of manipulation. obligation. Somebody's making you feel guilty for staying in relationships or friendships longer than what you need to be. Could be the people pleasing thing. I don't want to hurt you, so I'm going to go ahead and go along with the program. For a lot of you, you have people that are standing in your way of your growth. They're limiting you, and it's because there is some need or codependency for a friendship that may not be real friendships. Be really careful that you pay attention to how you feel around people, especially moving into 2020, because there's a lot of spiritual growth that's coming in. If you don't feel comfortable with a person, they're not your friend. If you don't feel like they're bringing anything to your life or you're bringing anything constructive to your life, it's not a match. For some of us, we're holding on to fake friendships or people that we believe have our back when we know deep down inside that they don't have our back and we need to cut ties with them. Some of you, I feel like you're trying to play politics, or you feel like you can utilize these people and manipulate it for your gain. Be really careful that you don't stab yourself in the back, because for some of you, I really get the energy of fake friendships where some of you may get disappointment or stabbed in the back in 2020 because you're holding on to somebody that has no good intention for you. And for a few of you, this could have been friends that are family, that you taken in like a brother or a sister. You may need to watch your back, because Spirit is giving the warning. Not everything that you see is what it is. And for a lot of you intuitives, you already know this. Okay, this is a call to action. You mulled over a choice for too long. This is overthinking. I know I want to do it. I know I need to do it, but I know I want to start this business, but what if it doesn't work out? What if I fail? What if I lose my money? What if I start this relationship and it doesn't work out and I get hurt? What if I marry this person and they're not the person for me? What if this job is not my job? Libras, air signs, we do it all the time. We overthink. For some of you, you spent a whole year, 365 days, overthinking a decision that wasn't made in this 2019. If you don't make it, you're going to bring it into 2020. Stagnation to your detriment, because it's showing that this, whatever the decision is, and Spirit is saying there's no right, there's no wrong. Something has to be chosen for you to move forward. If not, you're going to be stagnant. For a lot of you, you've been in this energy for years in marriages that are bad. You've been married 15, 16 years. I need to divorce this person, but I'm not happy in this situation, but, or you could have been working for a job 3, 4 years, 15 years, 20 years. There's no progression here. I'm not making the money that I want. I'm not growing. But for some of you, you're not making a decision and it's keeping you stagnant. And it's showing that if you don't move out of this energy, you're pulling it into 2020. Regardless of what it is, it's going to make you miserable if you do not make a decision. And I know for a lot of you, it's fear. I feel it. But you're taking yourself to a point where it's like you're not going to grow because there's no decision. There are a lot of you are codependent. You're waiting on somebody else to make the decision for you. And unfortunately, they're not doing it, which is kind of keeping you stuck in that energy. So you have to be the one to step out on faith and say, you know what, I'm going to take this leap. This is what I need to do for me. And you need to do it so that you don't carry that energy into 2020 and there's stagnation there. Despite your best efforts to pretend otherwise, your emotions are bubbling to the surface and begging to be heard. For a lot of you, you're not speaking your truth. You're not asserting yourself. You're not telling people. And we're good at that, Libras. We're good. I volunteer shit I don't even need to volunteer. It's because I refuse to hold it in because it makes you sick. Emotions make you sick. Unresolved emotions make you sick. Unresolved issues, fears, not having conversations that need to be had, not being honest with the people around you. I can't fuck with you because you're no good for me. I'm no longer in love with you. This relationship is not fulfilling me. I am not happy in this job. It's time for me to move on. A lot of you you're faking the funk and you're doing yourself dirty. You're putting other people ahead of yourself and it's going to hold you back. So for a few of you, you really are going to have to come to the grips of, I need to assert myself. It gives you power. And a lot of you are allowing other people to take your power, which you're blaming other people for, but you have to be honest about it, that you are the one that is holding yourself back because you're not saying what needs to be said. I know it's not easy. We don't like conflict. But the thing about it is that you're not being heard because you're not asserting yourself. You're not putting your foot down. And for a lot of you, you feel like there's no respect and you're not getting the respect because you're not stepping forward and demanding it from some people. So for a few of you, this is going to be something that is going to be moving in where you're going to be working on it more in 2020. I feel for a lot that you've already opened this door to this, and you're kind of branching out. You're starting to find your power, but I feel like it's uncomfortable. It's like, this is not what I normally do because people are upset with me. They don't like me. But it is showing that you are going to come into your power. And for some of you, you're going to have to come to the realization not everybody is going to be your friend. Not everybody wants to be your friend, and not everybody should be your friend. This is a year for you, Libra, to really kind of come to focus with saying, this is who I am. This is who I want. This is what I deserve. And being able to push yourself through it. If you don't, you're going to let people walk over you in 2020. You're going to be unhappy with decisions because you're not taking active participation in it. You're allowing other people to make decisions for you and tell you what you want. And that's not the way that we should go. It is showing that you need to be more authentic. This is what I want. This is what I need. This is who I am. And you have to claim that to get your power. And I see for a lot of you, you will. A lot of you have already done this work, and it's showing that therapy may have been a big help. Therapy, journaling, meditation is a suggestion that Spirit gives to connect with your higher self or connect with your ancestors to feel more empowered. And for some of you, you have to know where you come from so you can understand who you are and what your purpose is. And I feel like you're going to find it, Libras. I know that I have within the last few years. I'm still a work in progress, but for a lot of us, the healing started to take place years ago. And we're stepping into our power. We're stepping into our glory. And we're getting recognized because of that. So don't allow yourself to be put last or put behind, because you have every right to step forward and assert who you are. All right. Rise in power, Libras. I love you.